challenge? Like, what sort of friction do you think that people are encountering?
Encountering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say I've worked with a couple of historic diaspora, and they seems not to understand the local African.
African, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And we seems not to understand them as well.
Okay.
So these are the challenges.
Yeah, you think there's a huge cultural disparity?
Exactly.
Okay, so if there's a huge cultural disparity, then that is one of the major challenges.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay, you mean the culture?
Yeah, the culture, because the culture of the West and the culture of Africa is different. So the African diasporan has grown up in the Western culture.
Okay.
And obviously when they come to Africa, Africa is a new place for them.
Okay.
So they're going to have a challenge within adjusting themselves to the African culture.
Okay.
So you will have a challenge also understanding them. You don't think the culture is also one of the things that causes the friction, or you think it goes beyond that?
I think it goes beyond that. Yeah, because it's like we don't really. Because if it is a culture, sometimes we do talk about ourselves, but there still seems to be that friction.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a long-standing history. It's a long-standing history. And this is the part of the story where Africans don't get educated on.
Okay.
And African diasporans also don't get educated on.
Okay.
They've created this divide and conquer thing for us.
Okay.
Because the colonial master makes sure that whatever information he gave the continental African is different from the information he gave to the African diaspora.
Exactly.
So it has created a huge gap between us. When I say the information that is given to the continental African, I am basically talking about history. Our history was written mainly by the colonial master.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? And he wrote the history according to his way, or the way he understands it.
Okay.
Or the way he wants to put it. And he gave us this history and gave our distant cousins, which are the African diasporans, he gave them a different history as well. It's like giving them a different medicine and giving us a different medicine. Okay. So the two of us have consumed different things. And now we are looking to take one tablet, to diagnose all of us. Okay. And it's not easy to get one tablet to diagnose the African on the continent and the African diaspora.
Okay. So a minute. I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
So you mean different history has been given to them?
Yes.
And then different history has been given to us?
Yes.
Okay. If so, what are those history? That is number one question.
Yeah.
What are the information that has been given to them?
Yeah.
Because I really see a lot of potential, as I said earlier. But I am not the history. Is it that because I've heard a lot of people have a lot of conversation about African and Americans, African Americans coming together to do a lot of stuff, and we've been talking a lot. A lot of conversation has been on that topic. So how come still we are still not getting it?
Well, the thing is, let's go back to the history again.
Okay.
We need to actually check dates and time that colonial masters spent with us.
Okay.
From 1472, when the Portuguese came to Shaman, to 1957 of us having independence, the timeline is 475 years. That is how much time Europeans spent with us in West Africa, Ghana. Brother, 475 years is a lot of years.
Okay.
And that 475 years, they make sure that they gave us a different world view of who we are.
Okay.
They gave us education in their own way. They changed our style of eating. They changed so many things within that 475 years. But Africans don't really do the time and mathematics to realize how much we have been consumed from the colonial master.
Okay.
Now, all of a sudden, we started talking like the African on the continent and the African diaspora. When we started talking, we were using the same medium, the mass media, that was controlled by the colonial master to talk. And that mass media too has been controlled, where the African diaspora has been given a different information about Africa. So Africa lives on trees, Africa is hungry, Africa is diseases, Africa is almost everything bad.
Yes, like how they say we are malaria hub and all those stuff.
Thank you. So then, the African in the diaspora start to see that the very place they call
home
as home, or the cradle of humanity, or where civilization started from, is a place where there is hunger, there is disease, there is war, there is famine. So they don't want to come here.
Okay.
And if they do want to come here, they have their own kind of, negativity going on in their head.
Okay.
Then those ones who don't even want to come, or who don't, have never come into contact with Africans, they have a different view. And when they see you being in America or being in Brazil or Venezuela or whatever, black folks are, they think that you come from the continent and you are struggling and life is hard. So he doesn't want to associate himself with you.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
Get it. I get it.
But forgetting that, they don't realize that their information of them working on the plantation was never given to us.
Okay. Okay, you mean the information which is what they learned on the plantation?
No.
Okay.
When our people were captured and taken to the other side of the world, they were taken there to go and work on plantations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there are struggles.
Yes, the sugarcane plantation, they were farmers. They work on the farm.
Okay.
And so when they were working on the farm, they were working under the slave master.
Okay.
Whatever happened to them at the plantation, those stories were never given to we Africans on the continent.
Okay.
So we thought that these guys have it good.
Okay.
The mass media gave us information about Michael Jackson dancing very well.
Exactly. He's
know
rich.
What I mean?
Yeah, very rich.
Yes, they gave us an entertainment package where we thought that our distant cousins were having fun.
But are they not having fun? Because to me, that's what I saw. Michael Jackson wearing the flashy clothes, flashy cars and all those stuff.
Yeah.
And you see 50 Cent, in his flashy stuff. Are they not having fun? And are they not living life?
That is one part of the story.
Okay.
It is probably 0 point something % of this bigger story.
Okay.
It's quite negligible. It is not what you see on the TV. Of the entertainment end of black folks having entertainment is actually the bigger picture.
Okay.
So this is what I'm talking about. This is the reason as to why we seem to be having this friction and banter.
Okay.
Because we don't even understand why they are here.
Okay.
Because you think that they are having fun.
Yeah.
So why should they come to Africa? Now, it's not like that. If their struggles, if their history of what they were going through was presented to us, we would have known better and know them better.
Okay.
But now, we don't know them. We are actually now starting to know our distant cousins by, them coming in and going out and coming in and going out. The same very time, slavery history has almost been taken out of our history books in Ghana.
It is true.
Okay? There was one time I was in Cape Coast where I called a young man and I asked him. I was standing in front of the Cape Coast, how do you call it, a dungeon. Okay? And I asked the guy, what is this? Because I wanted to, get his brain working. Like, I want to know if
whether he understands the story.
Yes, whether he understands the story.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy, you know what he told me?
No.
I said, what building is this? He said, this one, I think my mother said it was a police station.
His mother?
Yeah, it was a police station, and then they used to, when you do bad things, they take you there.
Wow.
So young men in the town where slavery took place, as we speak now, don't understand the full version of what happened in Africa.
Wow.
Now all of a sudden, we have the influx of our people coming in from the other world. They look like us. They smile like us. But when they talk, it sounds different.
Exactly.
Then these young men are asking, who are these guys? They look like black people, they look like Africans. Then when you start to communicate with them, you don't understand them, and all you have been dreaming as a young man around Cape Coast town or whatever town you are is to also want to go to America.
Exactly.
Now you see these guys coming back here saying that they want
Why
to
are they
come to Africa.
here? Why are they here? That's the question.
Yeah. They are here because they are coming back to their homeland.
They are coming back to, but that place is no small roses. Why should they leave that place and come? Because we want to go there and live that kind of life as well.
Yeah, well, if you can forget about the media lens.
All right.
If you can forget about the media lens and go for the originality, when you get there in the West, you will see that it's not all rosary. But unfortunately, the story has not been presented to us like that. The story has been presented to us that our brothers and sisters are having a good time in America or in England or wherever they are. They never told us that they were suffering bad. You know, do you know when I got the full story? Myself sitting down here. Do you know when I got the full story of the African American or the African diaspora story?
Oh, what? Can you bust my mind a little bit?
Yeah. Because I started educating myself when I went to New Zealand.
Okay.
And I went into a library and I borrowed a movie written by Alex. Yeah, it's called Roots.
Roots, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's called Roots.
Roots, yeah.
So I watched Roots. Then it flipped my whole brain.
Wow.
On a different route. That is where I got to understand the story of our people in the diaspora.
Okay.
But how many people have watched the movie Roots?
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if they watch it, do they understand it? Some people think it's fictional story. It's fiction. It never happened anywhere. But when you come to West Africa, you see Elmina Castle Dungeon is the first European building on the West African coastline. It's still standing there right there now. It's about 541 years or something years old. That means that the story did happen. But they took the story from us. They didn't give us the real history. So we didn't know what happened to our people that were taken away. And when you meet a lot of Caribbean boys, you know, the first thing they tell you is, you know, Africans sold us into slavery.
Exactly. So I want to ask a question. When you go to the dungeon even, you will see a placard over there with the House of Chiefs saying, "We are sorry for the role we played in the slavery," and all those stuff. Is it true that truly our kings and chiefs sold our people into slavery?
Look, man, this is one of the biggest questions for us to actually talk about now. Asking the question whether our chiefs sold our own people into slavery.
Yes, because I'm confused. I really want to know about that.
Let me give you my perspective.
Okay.
Nobody has done an intense research work.
Okay.
That is available in schools for us or libraries to read or to teach our children the role of what the kings and queens played in slavery.
Okay.
Everything that we have read, has been the book that the colonizer wrote and gave it to us.
Okay.
That this is what our kings and queens, our chiefs did in the times of slavery.
Okay.
But I do not believe that this is what they did.
Okay.
Okay? If they did it, slavery went on from before 1414. Before 1414, there were already black people in how do you call it in Portugal.
Okay.
So that means that, you know, the early 14th centuries, people were already being taken away.
Okay.
Now, slavery went on from the 14th centuries right down to, you know, how do you call it, late 1800s. Even when it was abolished, it was still going on.
Exactly.
Now, you want to tell me that for over 400 years, our kings, okay, and queens or chiefs sold our own people into slavery? Okay, if I sell you, if you come to buy something from me and we negotiate and I sell you, why do you put the people in bond? Why do you put them in chains?
Okay.
Why do you have to mistreat them? Why do you have to, you know, make them feel so uncomfortable if the deal has taken place and is done?
Well, was it not that they said we went to war and they capture war, you know, war prisoners, and then sold them to the slave master according to what we read in our books.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of the people who sold by rights, they were slaves in the kingdom already.
Yeah.
Those are the people they sold and all those stuff.
I don't buy into all this.
Wait, I want to get your view. Why you've given me one view that if truly the deal was done, why do they have to be?
Why do they have to chain them
in bondage?
In bondage. Why do they have to put them in bondage like that? Because a chief or a king is a statesman. You should be happy going to wherever you're going to. Yeah, because the king, if the king said, "I am giving you to this man," the king knows your destination. Exactly. The king is very happy to give you away. Exactly. So why do I give you away, and then all of a sudden you have to be put in chains and whips and stuff like that?
Maybe the king I don't want to. Maybe because I, the person, don't want to move from where I am to where I'm going, because I don't know that destination. Or it's not because don't have a say in it. Okay, but you believe that Africans believe in their kings, right? Even as in the modern time right now, if you go to northern part of Ghana and the chief comes out and say, beat the gong and let everybody come here, 99% of the time everybody will come out. It is true.
Okay, so it's the same trust that they have for the king. So if the king has said that these people are interested in you to go to the new land, to go and help them to work, I don't think that the king would have said that and then do his exchange for the people now to torture these guys.
This is very difficult.
Yes, I mean it's a classroom of of how do you call it of thinking. Okay, now the next question is, what did we not have on our land?
Exactly.
Okay, what did we not have on our land that made our kings and queens want to sell their children for that?
Exactly.
Ask me, what did we have?
What didn't we have? I want to ask you.
Did we exchange for salt?
We had salt.
Okay, but they said we exchanged for salt.
Yes, that is what they said.
But we had salt.
We had salt.
Did we exchange for sugar?
Yes, we did.
But we had sugar.
We had sugar.
Okay.
No, were we having sugar?
Yeah, we had sugar. We had sugar. Let me tell you something. The story of the African in West Africa during slavery is the latter part of the African life.
Okay,
the
so we had life even before.
Yes, Africa was at its high